Today's review is Atomic Beam Headlight. The advertising makes three general claims. One, that it's brighter than average flashlights. Number two, that it serves a good function. And number three, that it's extremely durable and can work underwater. I'm going to try to test out all of those. I have this bad feeling that the durability tests aren't going to go so well. Maybe I'll be pleasantly surprised. So here are my tests of Atomic Beam Headlight. I tried doing a battery test to see how long the three AAA batteries would last. On the time lapse, it's not completely easy to tell because my camera was adjusting for the brightness. But basically what was happening is in the first hour, the full brightness kind of dimmed somewhat. But then after that, for the next 10 hours, it stayed relatively the same. The only thing I noticed is that sometimes after the batteries were somewhat exhausted, the difference between high and low modes there was almost no difference. I think the brightness after that first hour of full brightness is still pretty acceptable. Next up, I'm going to shine the Atomic Beam on my garage door with a fresh set of batteries and the batteries I use for my time lapse. I'll do the wide zoom, the tight zoom, and the strobe, and you can see how they compare. Now, I will say that after the first hour on the time lapse, it dimmed a little bit, but after that, it was pretty consistently bright. So I think the battery life is actually pretty good on the Atomic Beam Headlight. One thing I've noticed about the Atomic Beam Headlight, you see this yellow button right here? Well, when I take it off and I put it back on, a lot of times that button does that. As you can see, most of this is plastic. That's plastic. The battery case is plastic. The batteries are accessible by this rubber backing. They do have an option, there's a flyer included, that says you can get a lithium battery and charger for another $13. But since the product itself is only $20, it seems kind of steep for just the battery. But this flyer says that this battery will increase the brightness of the headlight by 85%.
Hold right there.
Oh,
Freeze.
it's so bright.
Wait. Freeze. Freeze, criminal. Freeze.
It works. It works. I will say that functionally it actually is pretty cool because everywhere you look, it looks like. I'm going to zoom this in a little bit. I'm looking over here. What's over there? You know, hands-free. Having your hands free is definitely a cool function of Atomic Beam Headlight. So in that respect, I like it quite a bit. Atomic Beam Headlight, you can actually swivel this light itself to about a 90-degree range. But the fact that, you know, if you're looking downward a lot, you can have it kind of at that angle, or if you're looking further out, you can have it out there. And the fact that it zooms in and out to a wider or more narrow zoom. Like if you're focused in on something or a wider angle, it's kind of nice. I like that feature. The advertising is maybe a little bit over the top, but once I got one in my hands, I actually kind of like it on first impression. That said, I haven't put it through any of the durability tests yet. Kind of look like a coal miner, don't I? Kind of has a coal miner look. You know, I've come to like the Atomic Beam Headlight over the last few days, which is almost unfortunate because now I'm probably going to have to break it. And that's because in their advertising they say it's virtually indestructible and it works underwater. It might be rugged, but virtually indestructible, I don't know. And working underwater, I'm even more skeptical, but let's see what happens. Their demonstrations show it between two center blocks and being hit with a sledgehammer and being strapped to a crash dummy. I don't really have access to those things, but I'll do my best. Now, I don't have a sledgehammer and I don't have a crash dummy, which is what they show in the commercial, but I can do this. Hiya! Hiya! It didn't come on when I threw it, so let me see if maybe the batteries got jostled around in there. Okay, well my instinct was right. The batteries had gotten shifted out of place. I put them back in there and the light still works. So it may not be a sledgehammer, it may not be a crash dummy, but throwing on the ground is a pretty good test and it passed that test. So next up, that's the one I'm really worried about. Let's see if we can handle being underwater. It doesn't really work very well while you're wearing a hat. Watch this. It has a tendency to kind of slide around a little bit. Plus, if you point it down, it's going to point at your hat. But, I mean, it stays on there, but I feel like it slides upward kind of easily. I noticed that nobody in the advertising was depicted wearing a hat either, so maybe it really isn't for use with a hat. To zoom in and out, what you do is you just pull this right here. Something else I noticed when I was outside at night the other night is that I had little bugs flying around my face because they were attracted to that light. I can only imagine how that's going to be in the summertime. All right, here we go. In the commercial, you have the guy that comes up and says, "Hell, it works underwater." They also have it in a pot of boiling water, a block of ice, and the website says works underwater. So I'm pretty sure they are claiming that it works underwater. So what I'm going to do is stick it in this pot of boiling water right here. I'll leave it there for maybe 30 seconds and see if it still works. It has a rubber backing to it. I'm not real sure how waterproof that is. My other concern is that the button, that doesn't look waterproof to me. I don't know, maybe it is. I'm going to turn it on, I'm going to put it in the water, I'll wait 30 seconds, and then we'll see how well it works afterwards. If it doesn't, well, I enjoyed it while it lasted. Here we go. Kind of a crackling sound in there. Uh-oh. That's not good. Abort mission, abort mission. I think it's calling out for help. Yeah, so that's about what I expected. Right now it's kind of flashing and getting dim, and it's just, it doesn't look very healthy. It looks like it needs life support right now. So I'm gonna let it dry out for a while and see if it works better afterwards, but it doesn't work underwater. It doesn't work under boiling water, I'll tell you that, because it doesn't look very good right now. So a little bit of water came out when I opened the battery back, and the button doesn't seem like it's working. It turns it on, but it doesn't really turn it off. So the water definitely had a significantly negative impact on Atomic Beam Headlight. To the makers of Atomic Beam, if you're going to make a claim like that, don't say it works underwater when it doesn't, because we're going to break them. It already works pretty well as it is. You don't need to make those claims that it works underwater when it clearly doesn't. That's my rant. Hopefully when this thing dries out, it actually works a little bit better. I've got good news and bad news about Atomic Beam Headlight. The good news is that I actually think the concept is really cool, and I like it enough that I've been using it for the last 5 days or so, and I'm very happy with how it is to be hands-free and still be able to have a flashlight that points in the direction. This is the bad news. After that water test, it's not really working so well. It's kind of going on and off. The button doesn't always work. So their claims that it works underwater, yeah, it worked underwater, it stopped working, and now it's not the same. So I think they should take that out of their advertising. In fact, if this one stops working, I'll probably buy another one because I think I would use it a lot. It's a cool product. Just don't put it underwater and you should be fine. Have you used Atomic Beam Headlight? Let me know what you think in the comments below, and if you like this video, I'd appreciate a subscribe so I can continue to bring you as seen on TV product reviews in the future. Until next time, this is James White with Freakin' Reviews. Thank you.